I'd like to take this time to clear up a few things. We chose to use this dragster to show the installation and basic tuning due to the increased ability to see the installation. The steps we performed on this race car are the same steps that would apply to your hot rod or your race car. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that. A Demon carburetor is not a Holley carburetor, though many of the conventional 4-barrel components are interchangeable between the two brands. And finally, of all the parts we've talked about, a fuel filter is extremely important to include in your system. This filter can prevent trash from getting into the needle and seat area, which can lead to that sticking, flooding, and the possible potential for fire. So no matter what the situation, make sure that a filter is included in your system. This concludes the basic tuning and installation portion of this video. It's time for you to go out, enjoy the new Demon carburetor, and the increased performance it's going to bring to you. You can turn off the tape now or continue to watch. The second section is going to deal with advanced tuning and some of the unique features found in the King and Race Demon series of carburetors. If you turn off the tape now, or if you have any further questions in the future, please don't hesitate to call the Demon Tech line at 706-864-4712. Both the King and Race Demon RS carburetors feature removable Venturi sleeves. Having the proper size Venturi helps create the proper depression, which will pull the right amount of fuel out for your application. In either case, to remove the sleeves, you need to turn the carburetor over and remove the screws, 6 in each case, that hold the base plate into position. With the screws out, the base plate is now free, and you can remove it from the bottom of the carburetor. The next step is to remove the gasket and set it off to the side. The sleeves will now slide out the bottom of the carburetor. Note that on the Race Demon RS, there are flats which orient against one another, and that helps position the sleeve properly into the center section. As mentioned before, sleeve removal on the King Demon is basically the same as the RS. You need to remove the base plate, and then the sleeves will come out the bottom. But there's 2 extra steps you have to do. You need to remove the fuel bowl and metering block to gain access to the metering block face. Here you'll find a bleed that holds the intermediate tube in, 1 in each bore. If you remove the bleed, the intermediate tube will slip out, and the sleeve will fall out the bottom. If you'll remember, there were notches that oriented the Race Demon sleeves. King Demon sleeves are left or right. This is due to the fact that the intermediate tube is slightly off-center. Please keep this in mind upon reinstallation of a King Demon sleeve. Both Race Demons and King Demons feature removable boosters. In either case, the first step is to remove the fuel bowl and metering block from the side of the carburetor. If you're going to work with a Race Demon, you need the Race Demon booster removal tool. Simply insert it into the booster retention nut, turn the nut counterclockwise, and the booster comes out. If it's a Race Demon RS, you need to make sure that the removable Venturi sleeve is out of the carburetor before you try to get the booster out. The technique with the King Demon is a little different. It requires a slide hammer. You insert the slide hammer into the stake tube that retains the booster into the carburetor. Once it's in, good tug, and the stake tube will come out. If it's a King Demon RS, you can get the booster out even if the sleeves are still in the carburetor. To reinstall a booster into these carburetors, you simply reverse the steps we've just done. with the king demon at a little bit of Loctite to the stake tube. All demon metering blocks are made of billet aluminum. This eliminates a lot of the problems that can be caused by the porosity found in castings. There are basically two styles. There's a 2-circuit block and a 3-circuit block. 2-circuit blocks are used on race demons, speed demons, and road demons. The 3-circuit block is used on the king demon. 2-circuit blocks feature an idle circuit and a main circuit. 3-circuit blocks have those same 2 circuits but have an additional intermediate circuit. The metering block controls the flow of fuel and the quality of the fuel through the carburetor delivered by the main body and the boosters. This is done through a series of restrictions and passages. These restrictions include the idle feed restrictor, the emulsion bleeds, power valve channel restrictor, and main well jets. The idle feed restrictor controls the amount of fuel that is introduced into the idle circuit. The emulsion bleeds control the job of mixing air with the fuel to give a homogenized mixture at the booster. These bleeds work in conjunction with the air bleeds that are found in the main body. Power valve channel restrictor controls the amount of fuel introduced by the carburetor when the power valves open. The main well jets do the job of controlling the total amount of fuel that the carburetor is capable of moving. In a sense, the emulsion bleeds help shape the fuel curve. The main well jets position the fuel curve. The locations of these devices differ in the blocks. Consult your instruction manual to determine where they're at in your particular block. But in all cases, their function is the same. In order to change main well jets, we must first remove the fuel bowl from the carburetor. There we will find the jets along the bottom of the metering block. To remove the jet, we simply use the jet removal tool, spin it counterclockwise until the jet comes out. All jets are marked with a value. The greater the value on the side, the greater the capability of flow that jet has. Another device that controls flow of fuel in the carburetor is the power valve. Find it on the other side of the metering block. Power valves are also marked with a rating. This rating is an indication of how much load is required for the power valve to open and allow the enrichment of fuel. It is important to have a power valve that is rated at a value lower than the amount of vacuum that your engine produces at idle. This concludes the advanced tuning section of our video. I'd like to close with just a few points though. Due to the increased efficiency of Demon carburetors, you will find if you do any dyno work that the brake-specific fuel consumption numbers are going to be lower. That's just fine. That's where a Demon carburetor works the best. A couple other things. We talked before about how important an adequate fuel system was to assure the best possible performance out of your carburetor. Well, an adequate installation is equally important. If you're in a drag race car, for example, that has a hood scoop, it is necessary to seal the carburetor off into the hood scoop and also put some form of a wall at the back of the scoop. If you're in a dirt car or any type of off-road vehicle that has an air cleaner that protrudes from the hood, it's a good idea to put a dirt shield in front of the air cleaner. This will stop dirt from getting packed on the front of the air cleaner, which can restrict the flow of air into the carburetor. And if you've got a street rod, it's a good idea to make sure that whatever air cleaner you use, you maintain at least 2 inches above the top of the carburetor to allow a good flow path of air. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I'm sure that there's still more questions that you might have. If that's the case, don't hesitate to call the Demon Tech line at 706-864-4712. Enjoy your carburetor, and thanks a lot.